to Your Heart by your one and only Edgar. True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous. I had been and am. But why will you say that I am mad? The disease has sharpened my senses. Not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of I heard all things, and in heaven and earth. I heard many things in hell. And then, am I mad? Hearken! And observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you this whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain. It haunted me. Object, there was none. Passion, there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold, I had no desire. It was his eye. Yes, it was this. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture. A pale blue eye. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye of the old man. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. You should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. With that caution, with that foresight, with that dissimulation, I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Oh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed, so that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed. See how cunningly I thrust it in. So it might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening. So far, as he lay I try to forget. Would a madman have been so wise as this? And did the ladder caution. Oh, so cautious. For the hinges creaked. I undid so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And for this, I did for 7 long just. But I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible. For it was not the old man who left me, but his evil eye. Into the chamber, calling the haughty tone and inquiring how he had passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute had moved more quickly than did mine. Never before that night had I felt the intent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think, there I was, opening the door. And he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea. And perhaps he heard me. Then suddenly, and he stopped. Now you may think I drew back, but no. His room was so black as pitch with the thick darkness, for the shutters were closed, fastened through fear of robbers, and so I knew he could not see the opening of the door. I kept pushing it on, steadily. I had my head in, and was about to open the latch, when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening, and when the old man sprang up out of bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept quite still for a whole hour. I did not realize the time. Sitting up in the bed listening. Hearkening to the death watches in the wall. Presently I heard his slight thrill. I knew it was the groan of a mortal terror. It was not the groan of pain or of grief. Oh no. It was the low stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul, with overcharge and with awe. I knew this sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it has welled up from the bosom. The dreadful echo, the terrors that distracted me. I say I know it well. I knew what the old man felt, and pardoned him, although I chuckled at his heart. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise. When he had turned in the bed, his fears had ever since grown upon him. He had been trying to fancy them, cautiously, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wind in the chimney, crossing the floor, or it is merely a cricket which has made a single trip." Yes, he had been trying to comfort himself with these from something, but he had not found all in vain. All in vain, because death had stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim, and it was the mournful influence that caused him to feel. Although he could never saw or heard, he could just feel the presence of my death. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing, I resolved to open. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, a single dim ray, dread of the spider shot from out the crevice, and full upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open. I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect. Jump. Killed the very marrow in my bones. But I could not see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I had directed the ray, as if by distinct precisely upon the dinged spot. And now, have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but over-acute of the senses? Now I say, there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well. It was beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury as the beating of a drum stimulates the soldier into courage. But even yet, I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker, and louder and louder, and the old man's terror was extreme. It grew louder. I say, louder every moment. Do you mark me well? I have told you that I am nervous. So I am. And now, in the dead hour of night, amid the dreadful sights of that old house, so strange a noise as to excite to uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I refrained and stood still, but the beating grew louder and louder. I thought my heart was burst. No anxiety had ceased. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw upon the lantern and opened the door. With a loud yell, then I tried to I pulled the heavy bed over him and then smiled gaily to find that he so far done. But for many minutes the heart beat with a muffled sound. This, however, did not let me. It would not be heard through the wall. At length it seized the old man who was dead. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If still you think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body, concealed it from within. The night waned and I worked hastily but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head and the arms and the legs. I then took up 3 planks from the floor of the chamber and deposited them all between the sconcelings. I then replaced the boards, oh, so cleverously, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I had been too weary for that. A tub had caught all. When I had made an end of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight, as the bells sounded upon the hour. There had come a knocking at the study door. I went down to open it with a light heart, for what I had mourned to fear, there entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect sobriety as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been loaned by the police office, and they, the officers, had been disputed to search the premises. I smiled. For what had I had to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own drum. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them search well. Search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his treasures, secure and undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest for the fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them I was singularly at ease. They said, and while I answered cheerfully, they chatted familiar things. But ere long, I felt myself getting paler and wished them gone. My head ached and fancied a ringing in my ears. But still, they said, and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued and became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definitiveness until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I grew very pale, but I talked more fluently and with a heightened voice. Yet the sound increased. And what could I do? What could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound. Much such a sound as a watch makes, built in cotton. I gasped for breath, but yet the officers heard it not. I talked more quickly, more evenly, but the noise steadily increased. I arose and argued with the trifles in a high key, and with a violent gesticulations, but the noise steadily increased. Why? Why would they not be gone? Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor, to and fro with heavy strides. As excited to fury by the observation of the men, but the noise steadily increased. Oh God, why could I do? What could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting and grated it upon the boards, but the noise rose over all and continually increased. It grew louder, louder still. Instead the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible they heard not? Almighty God, no. They heard, they suspected, they knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. My horror. This I thought, and this I think, but anything was better than this agony. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I could bear those critical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die. And now, again, hark! Louder! Villains! I shrieked. Dissemble no more! I admit the deed! I admit the deed! Tear up the planks! Here and here! It is beating of his hideous heart. And so concludes the tale of the Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe.